All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Seattle Seahawks rookie guard Grey Zabel. Zabel put together a really nice performance against a good opponent in primetime, helping to carry the Seattle Seahawks to a massive come-from-behind victory to take control of their division. We'll break down everything he did so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and want to help support us so we can do more of them, consider becoming a member of our channel. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's get started with a really fun play. There's Zabel right there, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And we're going to get a little motion pre-snap this direction, then a play fake this way, but then it's going to be a screen to number 9, and Zabel's going to go out and release and be the lead blocker for Kenneth Walker. Zabel's athleticism, speed, effort, and physicality on display here. Let's check it out. There's a motion. There's a snap. There's a play action. A little bootleg action. Throw it back to number 9. Now he's off to the races. And there's 76 Zabel leading the way right there. Downfield, gets the block. Nice little cut there. Down to the 5. Nice play. All right, let's break the sucker down all the way back to the very beginning. Long play. All right, look at Zabel right here. Does a good job selling the run with the rest of the offensive linemen. Nice job there. Funnily enough, you look at number 91 right there. He actually thinks it's bootleg. You see how he stops and runs around to get back to the bootleg? But it's actually a screen, so he's totally out of position. Really well executed across the board. There's really only 2 guys to block, and they got 4 guys to do it, so this is a huge play. But right here, this is next level effort and athleticism. Down the field, hustling, and finishing, putting 53. That's Landman for the Rams, who's a good player, by the way. Flat in the turf right there. You're talking about athleticism. You're talking about springing your back. This is what you want to see, right? This is extra yards. Difference between winning and losing right here, because if you're not hustling down the field, 61's hustling, 75, 74, not so much, right? And again, I'm going to give credit to 61, but he doesn't really touch anybody. He doesn't block anybody. Zabel, not only hustling down the field, but delivers a key block. Because right here, if Zabel's not there, let's say if he's at the same level as 61, 53 makes a tackle or slows him down, and Walker gets to the 20. Instead, because Zabel makes the block, Walker takes it all the way down to the 5. 15 extra yards because of effort. That's the difference between winning and losing, and that's a big reason why the Seahawks are in first place. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at it. There's 81 in motion right there. There's a snap, play fake. We get the bootleg, throwback screen, beautifully set up. Look at Zabel right there, bottom of the screen. Kenneth Walker in space, great block. Cuts back right there inside the 15, all the way down inside the 10. Nicely done. This is beautifully set up and wonderfully executed, but it's the effort. It's the hustle right here from Zabel, getting downfield, but also the execution. Because you can see 61, this is good effort, this is good hustle. Not blocking anybody, though. Look at Grey Zabel. He's hustling, he's running down the field, but he's taking somebody out. Bad intentions, puts 53 in the turf, and then lays on top of him right there for good measure. Really nice play here from Grey Zabel, checking every box. Again, executing the play, finding someone to hit, getting the job done with high effort, high finish, everything you want in a play. Nice job by the rookie. All right, let's go with the little running game now, and there's Zabel right there, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And it's going to be a very simple inside run right here for Seattle. We're going to get a double team right here between the center and the right guard, working up to the next level, base block here, and we're going to get a base block right here, Zabel, on this 3 technique, but a really tight 3 technique. The Rams by structure are basically saying, listen, we got a defensive tackle here that can 2-gap Zabel. He can handle this gap and also handle this gap right here, but Zabel proves the Rams wrong. He takes on this one-on-one opportunity and wins, opens up a hole for the running back to score. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's a handoff. Cut behind Zabel. Nice hard run. Touchdown Seattle. Let's look at 76 right here. Again, he knows the run's going to his right, moves to the right, seals him off, and keeps running his feet and finishes the block. Nice effort. You can see the Rams' strategy, right? They want this defensive tackle to blow through Zabel and create penetration and really constrict the hole. Because they get a good, I won't call that a good, they get a decent double team at the point of attack, mainly from the center right there. Don't do a good job getting up to the linebacker, but there's just enough there for the running back to have a really nice effort right here. Look at 26. Cutting through that hole and finishing through an arm tackle and a couple arm tackles to score. That's a great run. But you only get it with Zabel securing the backside. And when it comes to these kind of blocks, it's really hard because if you're in Zabel's perspective and you go too far to the right, this guy could backdoor and make a tackle for loss. If you go up the field straight at him, he could cut across your face and blow up the play. If you kind of sit for a second and wait, he could go right through your chest and blow up the play. It's a tough block in these situations, one-on-one with a tight 3 technique, but Zabel handles it perfectly. One step to protect the inside, keeps a good square base the entire time, runs his feet, finishes the block, maybe a little higher than you'd like, but the effort is there and the physicality and the finish are there. And that's the key with number 76. He's all about the finish. He's all about the effort, and that's the difference. I began this film review with a play when I talked about the difference between winning and losing, the difference between first place and second place, and Zabel personifies that with the Seattle Seahawks, and this touchdown right here is a perfect example of it. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at Zabel right there at left guard. You can see him take on number 91, who's a really good player. That's Kobe Turner, right? Who's a star player, Pro Bowl caliber player for the Rams. No penetration. Actually gets a little movement at the point of attack. Where was the ball snap, guys? Help me out. Let's see, right around just inside the 5. Where does Kobe Turner walk up? Back to about the 4-yard line. So about half yard of movement. Not bad, while also protecting your gap. And again, finishing the play there, getting him on the turf. Love to see it. Again, effort, finish, physicality, all things you want in a left guard, but Zabel also adds the execution, and that's the key element. His physicality and the high motor he plays with is outstanding, but right here, in the previous play too, and really this entire film review, and really his entire rookie season, if we're being honest, he's also getting the job done. You can't coach effort, you can't coach physicality, but you know what you also can't coach? Being a good football player, and that's what Grey Zabel is. All right, going back to the running game, and there's Zabel right there, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And this is kind of a power concept here for Seattle. Now, normally how power works is you pull the backside guard and then have the fullback lead through the hole. The Seattle Seahawks take a different approach here. They're going to bring 86 across the formation and kick out, and then bring the fullback through the hole. Regardless of what happens with the backside action, the play side's the same. Double team right here and work up to the next level. And this is a really good job by Zabel, because this 3 technique right here, he works across his face. And you're taught, if you're this guard, to wash him down and secure him inside. First and foremost, you can't give up any penetration. Got to protect against that, but you also got to make sure he doesn't blow up this gap right here. You got to make sure you wash him down this direction, and that's exactly what 76 does. Opens up a crease. Let's check it out. There's a motion from 86. There's a snap, kick out, block. Ooh, it goes up the middle. Nice little crease. Nice run. All right, let's look at Grey Zabel here. At the point of attack, key block, 3 techniques, slants inside. He's got to pick him up at this point by himself. Tackle works up to the linebacker. Nicely done there. Good work. Let's look at Zabel right here. He feels this guy slant inside. See how he keeps his body square, pretty much square? I mean, he's at a little bit of an angle just because you're going to be, but he gives up no penetration because he gets his right foot up right there. You see that? That step right there, that 1, 2, 3rd step, that's so important to make sure there's no penetration, because remember, you got the tight end working across the formation. If you give up any ground here, this tight end gets tripped up. He doesn't get that block, and it's a tackle for loss. Zabel protects against the penetration and then torques this defensive tackle to the right inside, and there's that crease. Nicely done. Now, this is a good football player. The Rams have a great front, right? Obviously, good football player is going to fight back. That's exactly what we see here. This defensive tackle tries to fight back across the face, can't quite make the tackle. This is where movement comes into play here. This is why running your feet is so important. You see how Zabel's always chopping his feet? Right here, watch his feet. Bam, 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 bam. Keeps chopping his feet, gets more movement. That way, when the defensive tackle makes his counter move and fights off the block to try and make the tackle, nowhere close, can't make the play. That's the difference, right? Again, physicality and effort matters. Also got to be smart. Also got to be intelligent. But the technique with Grey Zabel is also there, as you can see right here with this key 3rd step, right there, protecting against the penetration. And now the finish opens up the crease. Nice play. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at it. We're going to get 40 in motion pre-snap to settle on the fullback alignment. We're going to get the snap. There's the motion from 86. Now there's the snap. There's the crease. Running back hits it for a good solid run, and you can see Zabel at the point of attack. This defensive tackle slants inside, gets some movement, torquing him down just like that. Nicely done. Where's the line of scrimmage, guys? I love looking at movement. It's right around the 35. Where's 55 end up? Right around the 36, 37-yard line and pushed inside, right? He started really just outside the hash. He wants to be right on the hash. That's really his gap. That's where he's slanting to. So he kind of works his way back to the hash at the very end, but it's too late at that point and just surrenders 2 yards of movement. Good job by 76. Again, these are good players up front from the Rams. This is a good football team, obviously, a good defensive front. Grey Zabel, though, had a lot of good plays, just like we see right here. All right, how about a little pass protection? There's Zabel right there at left guard. 1-on-1 against number 91. Really good defensive tackle for the Rams, Kobe Turner. Now, this is a standard protection concept for the Seahawks. These 3 guys are going to be the play side. They're all going to take the gap to the right. So right tackle taking this gap, right guard taking this gap, and the center taking this gap, which means man-on-man on the backside, man-on-man right here, and man-on-man right tackle on the defensive end. Tough situation here for Zabel, because you know this defensive lineman, number 91 right here, he's got a 3-way go. He can either go outside, he can go through you, or you can go inside. And you're on an island. You're on your own. You got to figure it out however you can get it done. Now, this is a situation right here where Zabel finds a way to get it done, actually rushes 91 up the field, allows the quarterback to step up and escape. It's not a great play for the Seattle Seahawks, but that's not because Zabel doesn't do his job. He had a good rep. Let's check it out. Little pre-snap motion. There's a snap. All kinds of time. Climbs the pocket, tries to escape. 53 for Los Angeles, makes a heck of a play. Again, the Rams, good football team, good players. Let's look at Zabel right here, 1-on-1, hands inside, working his hand, running his feet, kind of mauling him a little bit. I love to see it. Staying on him the entire way. This is what I love about it right here. Who's still blocking? Left tackle? No. Right guard, right tackle? No, they let their guys go. Zabel's not. He's fighting the entire way. Again, the physicality, the effort, A++. That's one of the things I really love about Zabel's film, even when he has an occasional off day, which of course he's a rookie and every NFL player will. His effort, his physicality, his mentality is always there, and I am here for it as a former offensive lineman myself. Technically speaking, look at his feet. Chopping his feet, keeping his feet active, love to see that. Keep working his hands the entire time. That's all really good. I don't love the right arm outside right there, but he's just trying to torque him into the ground. You can see right there, he feels 91's going low, so he's trying to just shove 91's face in the turf, but Kobe Turner's a good athlete. He fights back. But this is a win right here from Grey Zabel, obviously. Great job rushing him up the field. Creates this massive amount of space for 14 Sam Darnold to step up into. Unfortunately, 53 makes a nice play. Needed more from Darnold early in the game. Got a lot from him late. Of course, big reason why the Seahawks came back. But this is a really good job, once again, by Grey Zabel against really, really good competition. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at it right here. There's a snap. Zabel wins the rep. Quarterback steps up. Tries to get away, but can't. And boy, oh boy, this would have been an easy first down. And I don't blame Sam Darnold, because right here he's like, okay, linebacker's taking the tight end. I'm going to escape, and there's one guy out there, and I got a receiver to block. And 53 does a good job staying home, stays in his zone, and come off and make the tackle on Darnold. Hey, credit where credit's due. Like I've said a bunch of times, Rams are a good team. But look at Zabel, though. I love that left arm punch. Don't really see that a lot from guards. You normally see that from centers with sort of that left arm punch or one arm punch. But Zabel utilizes it here to stop the momentum, gets his right arm around, and just wins the rep cleanly. There's a few technical things, right? He turns right there a little too early. Ideally, you want to be a little bit more square as a guard. But overall, this is such a good rep. Again, against a really good pass rushing defensive tackle, just a really good defensive tackle, period. Nice job here by number 76. All right, let's go back to the running game, and there's Grey Zabel, of course, right there at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. His opponent, Kobe Turner, great player, once again in that tight three technique. And this is an interesting running play here for the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to get a base block here from the right tackle, double team between the center and the right guard, working up to the next level. What looks like what's supposed to be a double team right here, tight end and receiver inserting on the backside. Running back takes what looks like a cutback track, but then he works back right up the hash right there. What I think the play's supposed to be is a design cutback, where they basically slingshot the defense that way. Tackle gives some help here, works up to the next level. The running back follows it just like this. But this is a poor job by the tackle in this case, because he's supposed to help bury 91 inside. He does basically nothing, leaves Grey Zabel on an island, but Zabel, again, hangs in there and delivers a winning block, gives his running back a chance. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's a handoff. Looks like a design cutback. Goes back north and south. Still a good little play. All right, let's look at Zabel right here. Left guard. Supposed to be a double team, but boy, oh boy. Don't love that from the tackle. Need more than that. I think it's supposed to be a design cutback, right? I think they're supposed to slingshot 91 down inside and then work up to 53, and the running back's supposed to follow it. It could also be designed to run just basically right up the hash right here too initially. It's really hard to figure out. It's an interesting concept. Could be just also standard inside zone, right? It's a weird play for Seattle, but that's a beautiful thing about Seattle Seahawks offense. From my perspective, from an outsider's perspective, don't really know what everything's supposed to be, which means the defense doesn't know either, which of course is a big advantage. But let's look at Zabel right here. On number 91, just locks him down, just anchors down and wins the rep against a good player. Gets no help from his buddy. And I can tell you, again, as a former lineman, when you're expecting help on a double team, whether you're a tackle and the guard doesn't help you, or you're a guard and the tackle doesn't help you, there's nothing more deflating in the world, because you get up to the line of scrimmage, you're like, okay, it's me and my buddy against this dude. We're going to wreck shop. And then you're right here like, okay, my buddy's gone and we're not wrecking shop. What's going to happen now? Usually disaster happens. But Zabel, again, just with strength, with effort, and with good leverage, still wins the play. And that's really important, especially in the run game when things don't go perfectly well with his teammates. Obviously, the Seahawks offensive line much improved, but they do have a few issues to address. Zabel still does a good job and gives his team a chance. And that's critically important, just like we see right here. All right, from the wide copy, get a really good look at Zabel on the left tackle right there. I mean, that's just a nothing from the double team. I mean, nothing at all. Ugh, I hate that. I mean, it's just non-contact. But Zabel right here, again, giving the running back a chance, getting on a guy, moving his feet, staying on the block, opens up that crease. This is why effort is so important from an offensive lineman, staying on blocks, getting movement, right? I understand we all want pancakes and we want everything perfectly executed every time. It's just not going to happen. But let's look at the center and the left guard right here. Center, working hard, running his feet, get some movement. Zabel, left guard, doing a good job, getting on his man, Kobe Turner, staying on him, getting a little movement there. You get a crease, and you have a successful running play. Again, ball's inside the 10-yard line. You're just trying to get closer to the end zone. 5-6 yard run down the middle of the defense. That's a winning play. Why? Because your center and your left guard are winning with effort and physicality, like we see right here. All right, let's show a play Zabel needs to improve on. And of course, there he is at left guard. And this is a passing play, and it's going to be a standard protection for the Seattle Seahawks. The play side is going to be these three guys, and they're all going to take the gap to the right. Right tackle taking this gap, right guard taking this gap, center taking this gap right here. And we're one-on-one on the backside then. We got the left tackle one-on-one, and of course, Zabel one-on-one right there against Kobe Turner. Now, right here, Kobe Turner, once again, is a really tight 3 technique, but he almost looks like he's a 2-eye, almost lined up a little bit more inside. And Zabel in a one-on-one situation is like, okay, for the first time all game, he's a little bit closer this way. He must be going inside. So that's exactly what Zabel does. He aggressively goes inside to protect, but Kobe Turner gets him with an outside move and gets a sack on the quarterback. This is a learning experience for number 76. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the pressure. 91 beats him, and there's the sack. Tough play. All right, let's look at Zabel. Right, he sees 91 really tight inside, tries to go inside, now gets beat outside. It's a tough situation when you're one-on-one because, like I said before, these defensive tackles, they got a 3-way go, and you got to protect all 3 lanes, right? Inside, through, and outside. And Zabel, a little too heavy on the inside protection. You can see right there, gets his hands knocked down, gets beat around. It's a tough situation. It's a really tough play, right? Kobe Turner's a good player, one-on-one, tough deal. But the thing Zabel needs to improve on, and this is something every rookie and every young offensive lineman in the NFL needs to improve on, is don't overthink it. Stay true to your technique. Listen, let me go back to the very beginning here. He's a little tighter. He's a little more inside. Don't change your technique so much. Quickly get 1 foot in the ground, keep your head up, but don't overcorrect. Right there, that's good. But right there, he loses it. He's leaning a little bit. You see that he's trying to protect too much on the inside move, and now he's beat. Get your head back, get your shoulders back, get that 1 foot in the ground, and now wait for him to react. And then you'll be okay. And this is, again, a learning experience. I guarantee he's in the film room with the online coaches, and they're probably working at it at practice, right? Listen, this situation before, or in the future, when it happens again, you need to make sure you protect with the inside first. 1 step, that's good. Now get your head and hands out of there. Don't lean. And he leans and misses, and then you're done. It's a small little thing, but against good players, the technique that you use is the difference between winning and losing, again, just like we see right here. All right, for the wide copy, you get a really good look at him right there, gets beat outside. You can see his initial step. That's good. Now watch what happens. He's leaning. His hands are leaning. His chest is forward. Head back. Good example of what to do. Look at the right guard right here. See how his head and chest are back? That's where you want to be. Now you're in a good position. Now, the right guard and the center get beat right there, so the end result sucks. But again, from a technique perspective, now, I don't think that's the right guard's responsibility, his gap, and he should do a better job helping. But, that's a whole nother discussion. But you see how Zabel right here, chest down, not where you want to be. Chest out, chest back. And that's technique. That's learning. That's something will happen with time. He'll get better at it. I have no doubt he'll correct this problem this week. All right, let's end on another fun play, and there's Grey Zabel, of course, at left guard for the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to fake the cutback going back this direction. They're going to hand it to a reverse on a receiver, Rashid Shaheed, very fast guy, of course, going to the offensive right, and everyone's going to sell like they're running inside zone this direction, and then a cutback behind it, and then all these offensive linemen are just going to keep running. They're just going to keep going this direction and then become lead blockers on the reverse. Again, it's a really good design. I love to see it. This is setting up plays, right? Sometimes early in the game, you run standard zone this direction, then you run it with a design cutback, and then you fake the design cutback and give it on a reverse to a receiver coming around, right? That's how you set up plays. It's good offensive coordinating. But I want you guys to watch Zabel here. He executes the fake in terms of selling the cutback, the split zone cutback, and then gets out in space and delivers a key block, recognizing there's one guy who can make the play. It's not a pancake. He doesn't get him on the ground like the first play, but it's a smart, savvy play. Let's check it out. There's a snap. There's the fake. There's the reverse. Shaheed's fast around the edge. Gets to the sideline, north and south. Huge play. Helps bring the comeback, right? That's what it's all about. All right, let's go all the way back to the very beginning here. Let's look at Zabel. All the way back. Here we go. Good job selling design cutback. Gets upfield, keeps working. Look at the offensive lineman in space. Boy, oh boy, Seahawks offense. Really well coached. Really fun executing in terms of this offense. But right here, there's one guy that can blow up these plays, and it's trailing defensive linemen, defensive ends. Right, these DBs right here, especially the corner, they're trying to force everyone back inside. So that way the help, whether it be defensive ends or linebackers, can make the play. And number 90 right here for the Rams, he can actually make the play, or at the very least, force 22 Shaheed wider before he wants to go. But what happens? Zabel sees it at the last second and gets one piece of him right there, and that's the difference. It doesn't look like an impact block, but it is. Because Rashid Shaheed, in this situation, he's trying to get north and south as quickly as he can, which he does right there, and that turns it into a huge play. If he has to flatten out right here, if let's say Zabel just keeps running straight and 90's chasing him down, I don't think 90 makes the play. But if Shaheed has to go right toward the sideline right there and basically be all the way over here and then go north and south, that's 15 fewer yards in the play. Just like on the screen pass we opened with, Zabel's blocking, his effort, his intelligence specific on this play adds about 15, 20 more yards. And again, in a close game against two good opponents, that's the difference. it's intelligence, it's effort, it's physicality, and it's execution. Grey Zabel, as a rookie, is demonstrating every characteristic you want to see of any offensive lineman. We're looking at the next all-pro guard in the National Football League.